In the algorithmic trading space, the dominant marketing myth is the idea of set and forget passive income. The reality of 24/7 crypto futures volatility shatters that illusion immediately. Automation is simply a blind force multiplier. It scales your precision if you know exactly what you are doing, and it scales your ignorance if you do not. The KNM Delta Future Spot is built to execute trades with extreme leverage, mapping assets up to 200x on pairs like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Operating a tool with that kind of leverage requires the rigorous mindset of a pilot flying a high-performance instrument. Structural ignorance here guarantees the total liquidation of your capital. This system operates strictly on deterministic math and application programming interface, or API, rules. An API is a software bridge that allows the bot to send specific trade commands directly to your exchange account. Surviving in a highly leveraged environment means you have to understand the exact mathematical boundaries where the machine's logic breaks down. There are three primary structural failure points you must monitor: lot sizing mathematics, regime rigidity, and state management disconnects. We are going to open the pilot's manual and examine these exact constraints millisecond by millisecond, because even a flawless algorithmic engine will blow up an account if the human operator fails to comprehend the logic executing beneath the dashboard. At the exact moment of execution, the bot acts blindly on the margin and leverage parameters you saved in your control panel. This equation shows exactly how the system calculates your position size for Delta Exchange linear contracts. In the numerator, the bot multiplies your specific margin input by your chosen leverage setting. It then divides that total by the live asset price and the specific underlying contract value to get a raw fractional quantity. Exchanges do not accept fractional contracts. The back-end Python environment truncates the decimal, snapping the result down to a clean whole integer. The KNM bot contains an automated take-profit protocol, which is hard-coded to close exactly 50% of your position at the first target. Because the system mandates this 50% split, your final mathematical lot size is a rigid structural requirement for the code to function, not a suggestion. You cannot divide a single contract in half. This diagram shows the absolute rule of the system. Your final executed quantity must always equal an even integer of 2 or greater to allow the take-profit splits to execute. A common operator error is configuring a low margin balance combined with high leverage. If the math calculates a raw quantity of 1.9, the system rounds down to a single lot, and the take-profit pathways fail. The system must immediately reject the trade. Allowing a single lot execution would break the trailing stop-loss algorithms down the line. Precision inputs dictate precision outputs. Failing to provide the margin required to generate a minimum of 2 lots turns a sophisticated automation tool into an immediate liability. Internal math is only half the equation. External market volatility is highly non-stationary, meaning the speed and size of price movements constantly change. Applying static risk configurations to a 200x leveraged asset during sudden volatility shifts will fracture your account under the pressure. The Titan V2 engine solves this through continuous regime detection. This chart illustrates a scenario where the market rapidly shifts from a trend state of expanding volatility into a chop or squeeze state of compression. The AI scanner detects this compression and actively overrides your static control panel targets. The bot makes specific defensive adjustments, instantly recalibrating the trailing stop-loss algorithm to track the price far more tightly. This tightened posture is designed specifically to protect your capital when market momentum dies out. A competent algorithmic pilot must understand and anticipate exactly when the machine will override manual inputs to survive shifting macro conditions. The final and most dangerous constraint of the entire architecture is state management and the tether problem. The KNM bot does not exist inside the exchange, nor does it hold your funds. It acts strictly as an external puppet master. All actions are transmitted across a communication bridge via the Delta Exchange API. During an active trade, the KNM server runs a continuous loop in the background, updating trailing stop losses milliseconds at a time to secure profit. The most fatal operator error you can make is intentionally or accidentally initiating a session disconnect by logging out of the web dashboard. Logging out instantly drops the server thread and severs the API tether. The catastrophic vulnerability left behind is that your highly leveraged position remains completely live and open on the Delta exchange side. That trade is now flying blind, entirely stripped of the K&M bot's algorithmic safety net and automated stop losses. API sovereignty means your digital session is the bot's only lifeline. Severing it without manual exchange intervention is a guaranteed path to liquidation. Knowing the underlying architecture dictates how you must interact with the user interface. Because the K&M Delta Futures bot is a high-performance system, it demands immense respect, constant vigilance, and precise preliminary configuration. The system maintains a strict mandate: start with a paper trading account before going live. Intentionally bypassing this simulated environment waives all systemic liability for initial misconfigurations or a lack of familiarity with the dashboard. Paper trading is not a beginner's crutch. It is a mandatory calibration phase required to test your lot math and verify API stability under live conditions. Engaging in true algorithmic trading is an elevation of operator responsibility, not an abdication of it. Mastering the lot sizing math, respecting the regime shifts, and understanding the state management logic is what separates a passive gambler from an active operator. Verify your parameters meticulously and fully accept the system's structural constraints before executing a single live algorithmic trade. Master the flight deck first. Only then should you engage the algorithmic engine. Automation without architectural understanding is just high-speed ruin. Master the machine to master the market.